Simon Brown doing today's webcast. Wednesdays, we do know your platform. I'm particularly going to today focus on ViewPoint. I've had a bunch of folks from the other videos we've done around ViewPoint who've essentially come back to me and said, hang on, they actually want to know some more. So how to set it up, how to get tabs, how to carve them out, all of that sort of thing. We've done watch lists on ViewPoint. We've done the charts on ViewPoint, etc. But let me get ViewPoint up and running. There it is. Let's expand it to full screen. So this is ViewPoint, which is the standard online share trading. It's a live price, live chart, live trading system that they have. Delayed pricing is free currently for May and to end of June. Live pricing is also free. You will literally see not much happening here. This is a market. There's my indices, etc., coming through. Emerging EM currencies. We're not even, nope, there we are, top of the pile, 1703 today. So what you do is you essentially create a couple of tabs across the top. And then you hit 6 tabs, and you'll notice that you can't add any further tabs. You're stuck out. That new button is now grayed out, and you're out of luck. You simply can't add more tabs. So what do you do? Well, there's a hack for that. And I'm going to show you the hack for that. And more than that, then I will use within that hack, and we can go in and run some, put together a page, show you how to link things, that sort of thing. The hack is quite simple. Ignore that little sort of triple bars application menu right at the top. When you're in that particular watch, go to those tiny little ones at the top right-hand corner where it says widget menu and say add widget, and then pick a widget. Anyone's fine. Let's pick a chart widget for this moment. And boom, what you'll see is that I have a new tab across the top here. I had 3 tabs initially. Now I've got a 4th tab. So we can put tabs within sheets, and that's how we can get to extra screens. So I've done it here where you can see I've got indices and then emerging markets. You can see where I've done it in the top 40, where I've got the top 40. I've got the heat map of the all share. That is my watch list, and that is the mid cap. So you can create a second line of tabs. And the question coming through, what's the limit on that? I haven't found a limit yet. I think I've had as many as 5 or 6, and thus far I had no issues with limits, and there probably is. Dave, if you're not actively trading but only do a handful of transactions a year, what is the case for ViewPoint rather than the normal OST platform? Dave, good question. So, I mean, the ViewPoint is for active traders, and if you're not actively trading, the 15-minute delay is something which might be of interest to you. It's a nice way to monitor portfolio. You can get a whole bunch of stuff from one page. I'll show you examples of that in a moment. But if you are a sort of classic long-term investor, a couple of transactions a year, etc., then no, it's not hugely important for you. Dave, issues with my audio. Sorry, wrong button. I need to go that one there. Might just be the microphone because my system says audio is going great. We are also recording. Remember, go to YouTube, search standard online share trading, and you will find all the videos on YouTube. So what we did over here in what my tab called 721 is I added a new one here. So let's add a chart. Let's pull up Standard Bank. And now we've got the Standard Bank chart full screen. And that's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to show you some other bits. It defaults to 5 minutes, which is a little bit extreme. Let's look at a daily chart. So now we've got the Standard Bank chart full screen. We can do our technical analysis on it. We can add indicators, oscillators, trend lines, etc. What we can also do is go back again to those 3 little lines and say replace widget. Okay, so which widgets? So let's quickly have a look at the various different widgets. So chart is what we're looking at now. Course of sales just shows you the last 20 sales. Histogram, I'll come to in a moment. Detailed companies, fundamentals, market activities, just showing transactions going through. Market depth is your buys and sells. Market map is that heat map I showed you earlier. Market status, tell you if it's open or closed. News, the sense. News ticker just streams across the top. I'll show you some of that in a moment. Offshore form to open an offshore account. order pad, order ticket, some tutorials, quotes, dividends that have been paid out, your portfolio, a quote ticker, security information, again, that would just be around that particular stock, historical information, dividends coming, trades that you have, ViewPoint, a survey, some training, and to add in watch lists. Let's just have a quick look at a ticker. Enter watch list J201. That will be the mid cap. And now it's going to ticker across at the top of my screen, and it will show all the shares within the mid cap as they are changing. So what it's going to do, and these are question: have I got live prices? Yes, I have. What we've essentially got here, as I said, all coming through nice and simple. And then once it's gone through the 60 stocks, it will start that process again. Robbers, the OST platform delayed by 15 minutes, as in. So the advantage here is that it's live streaming, whereas the OST platform is live static. In other words, I pull a page and it's there. For example, if I go to Lazy right here, what have we got here? We got Soho Sun Gaming. This updates with me having not to touch anything. On the OST website, you literally request the data and they send you a snapshot for that moment in time. You can refresh and get it. Here it's just showing it to you updated. And then the other point is the chart functionality. Let's go back to my 721 with that very, very slow ticker going across at the top. And I'm going to replace that ticker. Let me replace it with, oh, come on. Replace with the chart. So now we're back to the chart. Let's pull up the Standard Bank chart again. Here's my Standard Bank chart. And it defaults to 5 minutes for reasons. So nice, but we want to get some more into this because I mean, I'm sitting here on a 16-inch screen. I've got a lot of real estate and there's a lot of dead space here. So what I can then go and do is I can now carve your note down there. I can carve it either horizontally, vertically. I can carve it into 4x4. Let me carve it into 4x4. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That went way more than 4x4. Let's get rid of a whole bunch of these. What I'm really looking for is just a classic 4x4, and I'll show you why and what I'm looking to do. You'll note it pops across. Let's get rid of some of those ones down there as well. We don't want all of that, and we don't want that. And there is my Standard Bank chart sitting up in the top left-hand corner again. Now we click on plus, and we add, what should we add? Cost of sales. And my security, let's say, is SBK. So here, what I've got here, these are just the last trades as they have gone through the market, and it's going all the way back through the trades that have happened today. So in the case of Standard Bank, a fair number. But here's another trick. See this little dot up there? If I make those dots the same color, and I make that one and that one purple, as I change in this screen and I say, show me NASPAS, they both change. Let's add something down at the bottom down here. Let's add, what have I got there? Course of sales. Let's get some market depth. So market depth is showing me bids and offers. And again, I'll make that purple little link. And the last one over here, let's add news. And again, let's make that one also purple. So now if I go to any one of these blocks and change to, let's go back to Standard Bank, check what it does. It brings in Standard Bank all over the place. So now I've got Standard Bank cents only. I've got the Standard Bank chart. Here's what I'm going to do, small little change. Let's go and carve this widget again. And let's here do my, what am I looking for? Adjustments chart, course of sales. No, I want market depth. There it is. No, I got market depth. I don't want market depth. So I go and say replace widget. There we go. I want course of sales. And we make that one purple as well. So now they're all linked. So we add Standard Bank in. So what I've got here is this block here is showing me literally bids and offers that are in the market, and those are showing me the last trade, which is a duplicate. So let's go and change this one up here. Replace widget. I'm going to replace it with the chart, but here's what I'm going to do. I've got a 5-minute chart here. So on the left-hand side, daily, there, 5-minute, and again, let's make that purple. You don't have to make them purple. What I've done is made them all the same color so that they're all exactly the same. But here's something which is also fun to do. So see, yeah, folks, if you've got questions, drop them in. Are you able to enter a stop loss in ViewPoint Tebogo? At this point, no. There is conditional orders, which I'm beta testing, although Standard Bank has paused development, and a stop loss is a conditional order. At this moment, you can enter your trade here, but then you've got to go across and enter it into the market to place a stop loss. How do you get the candlestick format for charts? Quite simply, that little button there. You've got bars, candles, hollow candles, a Heiken, ashy, lines, line area, and base. Base just shows you, takes you to a 0 point. Area just grays under. And there are your candles. So what you've got here, and what I'm going to try and do, and I don't know if this is going to work, so if it breaks, forgive me. I'm going to try add a widget. The widget, where's it going to come in? No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to carve, and I'm going to carve that way. And in here, I'm going to add, I want a ticker. I don't want an order ticker. I want a quote ticker. And I'm going to search J200. They want a watch list. You can use a default watch list from one of the indices. You do backslash and then the index code. In this case, J200 is top 40. And here they come across. And then I shrink that down. And now I've got top 40 stocks only. So that'll only be the 40 odd shares. I think they're 41 currently. And you'll note that that's not going to be linked to the rest because that is a particular, the top 40 that I'm looking at there. At those particular shares. Are you able to make your mouse pointer bigger? Yeah, I tried and I failed. So I'm trying to explain where I'm clicking. Would you say that using an ASA account together with OST account would be worth the cost saving in brokerage? William, that's a good question. I mean, short answer, it's a spreadsheet type of question, right? You need to run the math. Remember, so OST charges you a flat monthly fee and gives you all the bells and whistles. ASI charges you 0.01% plus VAT per month, the value of your portfolio. So if your portfolio is quite small, that's a small amount of money. If your portfolio is millions or hundreds of millions or so, that significantly starts to add up. Is there an easy way to pull my portfolio over to ViewPoint, Carl? I will show that to you now. So let me change this one down here at the bottom left and replace widget. Select from library. Where is my portfolio? I think it lurks lower down. There it is. So I've now changed that to portfolio. You'll note the color's gone away. What you'll also notice it comes up blank. What I've got to go now do is pull in one of the portfolios. And what you will note is, yeah, there's only just one in there. What you will note is the equity and futures. So it will depend where they sit. You can look at it in a couple of different ways. There's your pie chart. There's just what you hold and how it's doing. And there it shows each of them separately. A question also coming through. Can we have a look at an order pad? I've got an order pad on my Aussie. So this is when I'm looking at Aussie. Chart one side, the actual Aussie and time sales on the other side. Then I've got the order pad. I seem to have Oh no, those are, this is placing the order, drops the account. So you've got to go and pick up the account that you're sitting in, and you can now place your order in and say that you wish to buy or sell, as the case may be. Order pad shows you orders that are in the market. And as I said, contingencies, although I've got that and most others don't. And then that's just the or me. Quick look at contingency. And I stress that the contingency orders are in beta, and in fact it has disappeared. I thought so. They've pulled back development. So what I had was the ability to place an order, but then to place a lot more detail around it. In other words, only buy under these circumstances, and place a stop loss here, put a profit target there, and all the rest. But because of pressures put under the COVID environment, Standard Bank is pulling back on development. Nick, is there a course available for this app? Nick, there isn't. We are building up the library on their YouTube channel, which will then have a bunch more coming through. And as we sort of flesh it out, so we do Mondays is Danae and myself looking at markets. Fridays is Fund Fridays. We're going to shift Fridays slightly from just ETFs to broadly funds, as well as portfolio construction and the like. And then, of course, Wednesdays looking at it here. Yeah, so I mean, one question. So what I've got here is a 5 minutes and a daily chart. What we could do is actually stick in a whole bunch more, and we could have a weekly chart at the same time. So that, let me replace that little ticker there. Replace with chart. Let me pull those ones down. And we make that SPK2, but we make that a 1 week chart, and we make that also purple. So now when I look at Standard Bank, I pull it up in one place. I get the daily, the big chart on the left there, 5 minutes above, and the weekly chart just below. We could change that 5 minute to a monthly chart. Yep, there we go. So now you get 3 quick snapshots of Standard Bank across. Is there a limit to how many widgets you can add? No, there is no limit, but here's what starts to happen. Is note, as I start to squeeze, if I pull up, as I start to squeeze them, I lose the data. You can see the chart, it's still saying it's a chart of Standard Bank, but it doesn't have sufficient space. So there's no limit, but practically it starts to fall apart when it can't manage it. It just says, nope, too much. Sorry for that. What you can also do is you can click on that little arrow. I'm looking at the chart on the left there, the Standard Bank. You detach the widget and you go and stick it into its own page, its own tab rather. And then your other option there was to full screen it and then close it. Yes, I promised to show you. Nope, I'm looking at that one there. The depth history. So this is a weird one, and I don't know if it has value. It is fun to watch, but I come back to it occasionally. I'm not sure if it's really got value. So essentially, this is trying to give you a visual representation of the bids and offers in a particular instrument. In this case, I picked NASPAS, and where those last trades were. Why is this important? We talk about crocodiles, and I'm not seeing. Let me see if I can't get a crocodile on Aussie June 20. Yep, that one will still be trading. What I mean by crocodiles is look at that green bar at the bottom on the left there, way bigger than the red one. So that green one's your crocodile and going to eat it. But look how quickly that changed. As I was talking, it went from being the dominant one to suddenly still bigger, but only just a little bit. And things are changing quite rapidly. So what you can say is, in a sense, that's giving you a sense that there's more buyers than sellers. But as I'm talking, in the near term, the sellers are coming in. You've also got some ability to do non-cumulative, in other words, candles like that. Price aggregate. So in the non-cumulative, you're taking it in tens, you can do it in hundreds, you can do it in ones. Just shows you where those buyers are lurking. And that's particularly useful, perhaps. Let's go back to Soho. We can see here that if anything, Soho's run, but perhaps the pressure is on the sell side. How's Sasso looking? For some reason, I'm getting really not much visual data coming out of Sasso. I expected those bars to be a bit higher. Maybe that's how we do it. We do it on auto. Nope. Do it in cumulative. Nah, not seeing much there. So it's I've tried to. So certainly in something like the Aussie, it can give you a quick sense. But as I said, it changes so quick. And now for the minute or so since I first pulled it and have been talking, the index has gone up a few points and the buyers still seem to be in control. But truthfully, we could pick that information up from just looking at this. Nope, that one. We can see buyers quite closely stacked together, whereas the sellers, they're stacked, but a little less so. And certainly the volume sitting on the buy side and the people crossing the spread, actually, no, that seems to be mixed as well. So it's fun. I'm just not sure necessarily that it adds a huge amount of value. It's just, yeah. What are the other various different tabs that are there? So by clicking on that little hamburger, and don't click on the hamburger right at the top, you'll see right up at the top there, application menu, that is a different hamburger. Yeah, it's got around widgets and stuff and carving them in, but you want to work within that widget to add widgets, detach widgets, maximize, to replace, to remove. You can download, depending what the data is, you can download it. You can always be carving and carving. Okay, yeah. So I market activity. So this is, you can decide how you want to do it. So we're looking at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, the entire Johannesburg Stock Exchange. We look at the total market and then top by volume, top gainers by, top losers by percentage. Couple down there. Mostly these are warrants. Top gainers by percentage. Again, warrants and then TSG, some others. What I would like to do here, and I'm not sure if I can do it, J200. I just want the top 40 index. No, it wants to do me entire market. I get that. So that is what they call market activity, and it's a nice quick look at it. Okay, I can go large capitalization. Yeah, but then Soho comes in as a large capitalization. I'm not convinced by that by any stretch. Nonetheless, there it is there. So that's your market activity. Replace dividends as obviously quite simple. Order tickets, buy order tickets, sell order ticket, your watch lists, select from library. Market status is just it's open. News, sends news ticker, which is then scrolling offshore form to open an offshore tutorials portfolio. Previous dividends, quote is just your bids and offers. Quote ticker, security information tells you about it, etc. Upcoming dividends, trades that you've got in the market, trade analysis. This is going to show me. Yeah, okay. Truthfully, so show me trades done at different prices. It is a little weird. Yeah, I suppose we can get a sense, and let's do it by the trades. And let's do it that way. So I suppose we can get a sense of where the huge activity is. So this is NASPAS yesterday. Let's pull up NASPAS. And I use NASPAS just because it's most liquid stock, so there's a lot of activity. So 2,877 was the biggest place for doing trades, and then was 2930. Now, excuse me, a lot of stuff here that's lacquer is it, does it make you a better trader or investor? Now, you can decide on that yourself. I look at that and I think, nice. I don't see its value to me. Maybe you look at that and you think that's the most valuable thing ever. It's there. It's your tool. You can use it. Michael, can we set decimal places on a watch list and say the PE ratio? No, it comes in default. So it's going to show you to a default level, and we can't change that levels in that sense there. It's going to show to a certain number. That our ability, it's not the data that we can work with, it's how the data is represented, if that makes sense. Ladies and gents, not seeing any more questions coming through, and I've showed you some carving. Fred, can you place price triggers on the chart? No, you can't. So price triggers you do within the online share trading. You can place them there. But what in essence you're wanting to do is say at that point there, send me SMS or something like that. Hold on, there is. As I mentioned that, this does have an alert system built into it, but I'm not sure. No. So there is an alert, but I think it's just alerts on trades. I'm not sure that it is alerts on. No, so that shows me news when news happened and when dividends were paid. Nice. But what I'm looking for is, and it's not going to be under my indicators. So when I trade from within ViewPoint, I get both an email, but I also get an alert within that pops up in ViewPoint. But I think that's just for trades. There's notifications. All notifications. I have none. Rules. Add a new notification. Security code. Okay, so security code NPN. Create. So that tells me about. Okay, I'm going to see what's happening there. So that's going to notify me on news on NASPAS. Quote notification. So this is, okay, I'd forgotten. And then depth notification. So quotes, I had one here from way back. Let's add a new notification. Code would be J200. For some reason it's not liking that. Let's do it on NASPAS. When last price is greater than 3,500. Remember, it's going to be in cents. There it is. So there you can do notifications. So I got to that. Completely forgotten about it. I got to that under the top hamburger menu, notifications. And then it gives you a visual pop-up and a beep that will pop up within the ViewPoint. Video about various lifetime buy options in the drop-down when buying. Quick rundown of the various options like fill or kill. Touch on that now. What options would I buy under? So let me go to Aussie. Let me go to the order pad. Order type. So what they're doing here is just limit or market. But if we go there and this one pops up, good for day, order type, limit or market. Again, they've reversed the development, so we're not seeing much more coming through at all. The fill or kill was basically trade at the price or cancel the order in its entirety. Limit, basically, at this point, we've got limited market. Limit says you are going to buy, but you don't want to pay above a certain price, or you're going to sell, but you don't want to sell below a certain price. Market means just buy it. Don't care what the price is, or just sell it. Don't care what the price is. Yes, I want to clear that order. Fred, pleasure. Ladies and gents, we will park it there. If you've got things that you want to look at, areas to discuss, Simon at justonelap.com. I got a bunch of emails around the Friday ones, lots of ideas there. We will certainly get those. And then, of course, if you've got particular areas around the website, using the website, I'm going to get Addition in to do some web trader for us as well. Alex, selecting correct amount to use. Looks like EQT is equities, and you can trade trade long or CFD, correct? CFD would be in a CFD is in a futures account, if I understand correctly. Equities is just going to be a vanilla. And that comes back to portfolio. Yeah, so I'm just seeing equity. There should be some futures ones here. There's a futures one there. I think that's just parking some cash in it. Yep, just got some cash in it. Fair point. I think, as I understand, and I speak under correction of this, that your CFDs are going to be in what they would call a futures account, notwithstanding you are trading CFDs, and not an equity account. And the reason is because how they display the P&L for futures. Jean-Pierre, absolute pleasure. Ladies and gents, we're hitting our half hour, so we will park it there. We'll see you again Friday. Everyone, stay safe, and we'll chat again Friday. Cheers all.